People, how you doing? David Taub here, co-creator of nextlevelguitar.com. Hope all is going well, and I hope your guitar and musical journeys are going famously. Easy ways that you can start sounding melodic and really start tying your soloing together. If you're having a problem, you know, sounding the same, playing all the same licks, or maybe your solos just don't sound right. Maybe they sound too much like scales, or maybe they sound like kind of like a lot of disjointed things you're trying to throw together. You really want to practice over a very slow jam track like I was using in this example. Just a couple of chords. The chords dictate the full roadmap to your soloing and improvisation. The key is only a part of it. So this jam track that we're using today, it's in the key of D minor. It's basically just a simple 2-chord change, and it goes to a 3rd chord the last time through on the progression, and that's important. I'll explain that in a second. But basically it's just I'm hammering onto a D minor chord and then B flat major. Now it does that 3 times, but the last time goes to C for that resolution. And that's important because we're targeting certain notes over certain chords. If you need some other jam tracks that sound really good, I'll send you my jam track coach. 6 killer sounding tracks, but I also pair that with 2 ebooks where I go over the scales that you could try. I go over the chords in the track. It's often left out, right? What works and why, some things to try to get you started. 6 tracks, 2 ebooks. Send it to you for free. It's a great practice tool. Just click on that link below. We're in the key of D minor, right? So you know you could use D minor pentatonic and blues, but you could also use D natural minor scales or D Aeolian mode, D pure minor. And that gives us some different things than pentatonic. One's not necessarily better than the other, just different sounds, and that's what you want. You want different sounds. So what this natural minor scale gives you is half steps. Right? So you get a couple of half steps. There's 2 notes difference between minor pentatonic and natural minor. Those 2 notes are huge, and we're really going to exploit that. So I'll tell you what, let's keep it really simple. Let's just use this D natural minor scale off the 5th string root. So find your D note, 5th fret on the A string, and you're going to play this shape. Root notes are D, 5th fret A string, 7th fret G string, and you have another D up here, 10th fret E string. One thing when you're soloing is try to find a lick you like and then kind of repeat it, but vary it a little bit. And then you will start getting some melodic ideas. Because the whole thing is we have to take these notes and do musically interesting things with them through being expressive, right? Through our bending, through our string bending, through slides, through hammer-ons, through pull-offs, vibrato. These are all things that you have to practice individually to really get comfortable with them. I want to start the solo off slower and maybe a little quieter. So what I'm doing here, and again, this will help you to create different sounds, is I'm manipulating the volume knob. I got the volume way down in the beginning of the solo, and then as it builds, I start cranking it up. I also change pickups. Right now I'm on the neck pickup. Later in the solo, I go to the bridge pickup. Intro lick just to start off is like holding a nice bend. I did something like this. I want it a little quieter. Okay, I'm sliding into that 7th fret on the D string. Now what I'm doing there is I'm doing a double bend. I'm bending the root note D at the 7th fret of the G. Let it down, bending it down, bending it again. Let it down, bend it again. Hold it, let it down in vibrato. That's one note, and I'm doing like 4 different things with it. Bending, releasing, bending it up again, holding it, letting it down, vibrato. One note, leaving lots and lots of space. These are very subtle things, but the nuances is what you want to put into your playing, and that's what gives it all these different sounds. I'm muting the strings. Little palm muting by resting the palm of my hand on the strings. Then I let it ring fully. Bring it down, vibrato. And then I slide out. Now, remember that scale I showed you. There's that next lick. I'm doing a pull off from the 6th to the 5th fret, getting that beautiful half step in there. Then, instead of going from 5 to 7 in just 2 notes, I slide and vibrato. That's give us a different sound than this. And you want that. See, we're exploiting the notes. We're using slides, bends, pull-offs already, and we're just like 4 notes into the solo. If you have a second, please subscribe to the channel. Subscribing to the channel really helps us to keep the content coming. If you like it, give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below. Let us know what video lessons you'd like to see coming up. The next lick I do this. Similar motif where I'm going half steps again, but then I slide up to this G note on the 8th fret of the B string. So the whole thing so far. And then I go back again. Okay, that's a really important lick right there because it's the last time in the progression and it's going to that C chord. Remember I told you that's important because guess what? I'm ending on that C note. Because that really is powerful over the C chord. See, I'm targeting certain notes within the chord. See, you don't always have to resolve to the D, the root note. Depending on the chord, here I want to resolve to the C. I'm just taking very few notes. You know, we have the F, we have our E, we have our D, and we end on the C. And I'm doing these musically interesting things, right? Later in the solo, I'm doing different things with those same notes. Like, for instance, I'm taking, when the solo builds up, I'll do a lick like... Just repeatedly bend that note. I'm bending my E to the F, half step. Practice those bends. Right? Check it. Right? String bending is so important, but so often we don't spend enough time. Do 5-7 minutes a day just on your string bends. Practicing them. You know, double bends. Such an expressive thing. You know, again, here's another lick. Another variation where I'm doing that half step, then a half step bend, half step pull up. I'm bending it up and letting it down. The great thing about this scale is you have the same fingering 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4 on adjacent strings. You have that same fingering on the high E and the B. So everything you're doing on that B, you could do on the high E. Right? Slide it up, vibrato onto that C, especially over the C chord. And just get lost in the track, have fun with it. If you want more jam tracks that sound really good, and I explain in the ebooks, you know, what to play over them, what works, why, what to try, click on that link, subscribe to the channel. Really helps us. Please share, like the video, leave your comments and questions below. Thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy these guitars, have fun with them. You'll get it. Stay positive, and remember, your guitar playing is an evolution. Rock on.